How you guys doing? Welcome to the next podcast. I have two exciting young men today, major league prospects, going to college next year. Robbie Shelton and Aaron Graves. What's going on, Robbie?
What's up, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good. How you been? This is the big time for you, man. How you been?
I've been doing great, man. I'm enjoying life, playing baseball, training every day. It's nothing better than that.
So Robbie is in the 23 class at Riverdale Baptist School right now in Maryland. So talk about some of your, how you got started playing baseball, man.
How I got started?
Yeah.
Man, my sister actually started playing t-ball before me. She's a little older than me, and I wanted to play, so I ended up playing with the older people. I was only 2 when I started playing t-ball. So I played a lot of local all the way up until I got to about 12. Once I hit 12, I was like, I got to start traveling if I really want to do this, because I was like, I did it every day. It was my favorite thing to do. It was all I ever wanted to do. So I started playing with this travel team called G3. They're like my brothers. Played with them all the way up until this year. I mean, I'm done playing summer now, but I've been playing since I was 2.
Man, that's good, man. It's funny, man, because sports, can take you a long way, right? So,
Yep.
I started playing football when I was 7 years old, all the way up until the time I made it to the pros. Played for a few years. But definitely, man, let's talk about, the journey and playing on the Detroit Tigers, minor league or farm league scout team, I guess it was.
Yep.
How was that experience?
Dude, that was awesome. I had played with a few big teams, like just they weren't huge, but when I got invited to play with that team, it was awesome, dude. The guys were amazing. The baseball we were playing was amazing, and it was a whole different experience. I was actually the first time I played with them was in Florida for the World Championship for the underclass, and I was
Hmm.
sick as a dog, dude. I was throwing up when I got back to the hotel. It was bad, but I mean, I still played good. Coaches loved me. Players were awesome. I met some really cool guys. It was amazing.
Man, I tell people all the time, you never get rid of the butterflies. Always there. They never leave, right?
Yep.
No matter how long, how many years you playing, the butterflies still there. They stay there. They're never gonna go away. You be playing in the World Series one day, and you gonna still, 30 years in, and you still gonna have butterflies. So,
Oh yeah.
definitely. What about the Wild team, the Wild Factory team? Look who just joined us.
Little
What's
late.
up,
Okay,
Aaron?
yo, my bad. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. That's okay. I know you out there grinding. You just getting out of practice.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we're talking to Robbie right now. So Robbie, let's talk about a little bit about the Wild Factory national team.
Yeah, so I had connections with Carl, and Carl Nichols, big guy. He's my man, my head coach. Works with Tamar Johnson, huge guy. He got invited to go coach with them because he knew a few guys. So I was just working out with him. He was like, "You want to come play with Wild Factor National?" And usually to do that, you got to be already in their system. They got to try out all that. And I got lucky enough to just be invited to go out and play. So the first time I played with them was down in Hoover. So I mean, it was cool. There was the guys on that team. I mean, they were funny, dude. There were some funny group of guys on that team. I actually just we played against one of the dudes from that team, 2 of them actually, when we went down to Alabama with Riverdale. We played in that high school showdown. We played against a few of them, so it was good seeing them again too.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's always good when you can meet guys and play in travel teams and meet guys on a whole nother level.
Yep.
Because a lot of times when you plan on your local team or your school team, you don't really have that, to where, a lot of guys have the aspirations of being going to the next level or even having the talent to.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Graves.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? Another guy, class of 23, also at Riverdale Baptist School. Tell us a little bit about, when did you start playing baseball and why?
Um, in relates to my other teammates and friends growing up, I was kind of a late bloomer. Started playing when I was around 12 years old. I was a football and basketball guy growing up. So how I started playing baseball, my dad had his own travel. He coached the travel team, PG Select, and all my friends were on that team. They would travel to tournaments and stuff like that. And like those are my guys, but like at the same time I kind of felt like left out whenever they would play, or they would just go out of town to play, and I just like kind of felt that disconnect, and I just didn't want to feel that anymore. So one day pulled my parents to the side. I was like, Mom and Dad, like I want to try baseball. Why not? And they were like, okay, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, like I want to try it out. Just play with my friends, see where it goes. So, they sat me down, had to talk about how baseball is a game of failure. Um, it's like it's they just really like sat me down and like prepared me for what was to come, and that didn't phase my decision. Um, I started playing. It was rough at first, but looking back, like I'm blessed to be in the situation that I am, and I'm.
Uh,
Definitely. I think Aaron driving and got hit a dead spot or something, Robbie. So
yeah.
Robbie, when you're talking about as far as the career, your goals, right? What are your goals at the next level?
For me, dude, I'm not a big school guy. I mean, I'm going to a junior college. I don't plan on going to a 4 year, to be honest with you. I'm either a draft or bust guy. If I don't get drafted, then I go into trades, do hands-on stuff, just do stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just grinding every day trying to get drafted. That's been my goal for a very long time. So it'd be awesome.
And speaking of that, what are the goals after school? After school, so obviously the goals you want to get into, you want to obviously play baseball on the major league level,
Yeah.
or on a minor league level until you're able to make it to the league. Let's talk about that a lot. What are your plans as far as after school?
So after school, I mean, if I don't get drafted after the 2 years, I plan on going to a trade school, which is like you just learn how to weld, all that kind of stuff. You learn on hands-on stuff, all that kind of stuff. So I plan on going there. I think it'll be 4 years since I already had my degree from my 2 years at junior college. So I'll do 4 years there and then go straight into the workforce, make a pretty good amount of money right out of that. So it's pretty much that's what I got going for me right now.
I mean, both of you guys, man. I mean, what does it? I mean, one at a time. What does it feel like to be a major league baseball prospect, Aaron?
You can go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you got.
fine.
It's kind of surreal. Like I said, like I didn't see myself in this situation. I thought I was gonna be playing football somewhere. So it's like kind of like I don't know, cause it's just so like it's like pinch me, I'm dreaming, but at the same time it's like nah, I can kind of like see what it is. So like I like I said, I just can't thank the people around me enough to like get me where I am now. So I still got a dream to work towards. Like I'm not satisfied with just that title. I'm still working towards that dream. So I'm blessed, but like at the same time, the job's not done.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Robbie?
For me, I mean, I always was told I had a lot of potential, stuff like that. My athleticism was never there, which recently in the last year or so, I ended up getting a lot faster, lost a little bit of weight, put on some muscle, stuff like that. So I was always told by Carl Nichols and those guys, they were like, you got potential, you got to keep working, you can get there one day. And I've had a lot of friends around me that were drafted. My buddy Jackson Merrill just got drafted 2 years ago, first round. He's a really close friend of mine. I've always had people around me like that, but I think of myself down more than anything else. I don't like to raise my head too much, but I mean, it's awesome. It's something that I never really thought I'd be at either. I was always watching the dudes on TV, and now I'm working with some of the guys that worked with them, and it's crazy.
Yeah, man, I I totally understand. So I know when I came out of college, and just to see guys on TV, playing a sport that I've been watching for a long time, and to get a chance to play with them and against them, like you said, it was so surreal. Aaron, when you're talking about you started initially playing football, why did you stop playing football?
Um, I had I had just kind of like fell out of love with it for real. Like I just didn't. Football was my number one, basketball was my number two, and when I picked it up, baseball was obviously my number three. But like as like time went on and like I started to get better in baseball and I started understanding the game more. Wanting to learn more about the game. Like slowly became my number two at one point. Then it became my number one. So, but football, I just naturally just fell out of love with it. Like I played last year, my junior year. Yeah, it was fun, but like it wasn't the same growing up. So like, and I didn't want to waste guys' time. Like I didn't want to take away reps from guys that actually wanted to play the game, and I was just out there, you know, just cause. So I took a step away from football to focus on baseball. But I still like watching football. Like I still talk football with my friends and my family. Like, I'll pick up a football, throw the ball around 7-on-7. But like if you ask me to strap up, I'm like, I can't do it for you. I can't do
Come
it for
on,
you.
man. You what, 6'3"?
Something like that.
How,
Yeah,
how much you
I
weigh?
can't. I just can't anymore. I can't.
I always wanted to play football. My dad would never let me because he played in college, and he was like, "Nah, I don't want your body to be messed up." And I was like, "Man, I always wanted to play, but I never
It's
did."
funny, man, because I played baseball as well, and I stopped playing when I got in college, and I wish I would have kept playing when I got in. I mean, in high school, I stopped playing when I got in high school, so I wish I would have kept playing when I got in high school. I mean, you can have a longevity in baseball is out of this world when talking about compared to football or either basketball for that matter, right? I mean, you see guys playing into their 20, 25, 30 years in baseball.
Yeah.
In football, you're talking about an average time of 3 years, right? So, both of you guys got the same concept as far as the question next. Both of you guys, play on a team where your dad is coaching. How is that being your dad is on the coaching staff and playing for your dad and separating dad from coach? Robbie, how's that for you?
For me, my dad actually had been my coach for a long time before I came here. He was my summer ball coach. He coached G3 with my other coaches, obviously. And I mean, it's hard to separate coach from dad. Like Coach Aaron gets on me all the time because he hasn't been my coach for about 2 years now. And now that I'm back at Riverdale, I did actually leave Riverdale for 2 years and went to La Plata. Now that I'm back there, I keep on calling him dad, and it's so hard to just be like Coach Bob or something like that. It's like it's hard, but I mean it's good. It sometimes it's difficult to see him from a coaching point of view than a dad point of view. He's trying to tell you something. You'll see him as a dad more than a coach sometimes, but I mean we're getting along, so it's fine. We're not butting heads too much.
What about you, Aaron?
Uh, my dad would kind of like was always my coach in a sense with every sport. He would say, "Nah, I'm not coaching this year," and then end up being an assistant coach or something like that. So he always kind of found his way to dabble in any sport that I played. But being here at Riverdale, him being the head coach and me being coach's kid, it's kind of it was a struggle at first. Not even just on the field, just in the classroom.
Oh,
He cut off again.
mm.
That's okay. Hey, that's why we live, right?
Oh,
Okay, there you
bad.
go.
Oh,
You
my
still
bad.
got the floor. Go ahead.
Somebody was calling me. It was. I mean,
Hey
it's
man, you
just.
got an iPhone or Android.
I have an iPhone.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody was calling. Somebody was FaceTiming me. I'm so
I got
sorry.
you. No, you good.
So it's like, it's not hard for me to separate coach from dad. Um, it was a struggle at first. Not even just on the field in the classroom my freshman year, but like, it wasn't very difficult for me how it was for Robbie. But I mean, and sometimes when he's screaming at you, it's kind of like dad's yelling at you. But like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to like kind of digest the information, and then it's like, all right, coach is trying to tell me this and that. No, it's not. It's nothing. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It
Right,
is
and it's not personal, right? So
no.
it's understand that it's coach talking, and he just want us to get better,
Yeah.
right? And I got to separate the two. I played with a gentleman at Penn State by the name of Larry Johnson, who was the first round draft pick to the Kansas City Chiefs, and his dad was our defensive line coach, who is now the defensive line coach for Ohio State. And I had him on the podcast and we was talking. He said similar to you guys. Look, he grew up as my dad being my coach, from little league to just up until a time where he started playing school ball. And he kind of said the same thing. It wasn't hard. It was just trying to, I understood the goal and I understood the mission. So I didn't take it personal when my dad was screaming at me. So that's definitely something that you had to get used to it if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Right. So, outside of baseball, what are some of you guys' interests? Starting with you, Robbie.
My interests, honestly, I don't do a whole lot other than baseball. I hang out with my friends on the weekends. We all got trucks, so we'll go around just driving our trucks around, just hanging out. We'll go out to eat or something. There's not much to do down in our area, to be honest. Small town down here, but We'll hang out, we'll do whatever, order pizza, watch movies, something like that. Just not a whole lot. I usually am doing baseball 7 days a week. Like I don't do much other than that.
What town did you live in? You said small town.
Yeah, Southern Maryland. There's not a whole lot out there. It's not
So
much.
you way out there by La Plata.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
All
How far? How long does
Amish.
it take you to get to school in the morning?
It's 45 minutes in the morning. It's not
Oh, that
horrible.
ain't bad. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Sometimes if the traffic's really bad, though, it can be a lot more, but it's usually not horrible.
Aaron, what about you? Interests outside of baseball?
Outside of baseball, I'm really big into like fashion, photography, culinary. When I'm done playing baseball, I want to go into fashion. Like I want to do like, I want to work with like the designer brands like Rick Owens, Prada, Mason Margiela, stuff like that. I either want to like be like an actual fashion designer or like be a fashion model, like walk the runways. Culinary, I like to cook with my mom. Um, After when I'm financially stable, I want to go to like actual culinary school and like learn how to like cook like the best of the best. And photography wise, like I like taking pictures. My cousin on my mom's side, he's actually a fashion photographer. He's working at an internship in New York right now. And stuff he knows, I kind of like take bits and pieces from and kind of like just digest for like myself, when I'm taking pictures. So I mean, those are kind of like my three main hobbies. But like Robbie said, like I like to hang out with friends on the weekend, order pizza, watch movies, just hang out with my friends. But
Yeah.
those are my three main hobbies for real.
So let's talk about, man, you guys are just about finished, right? So you around this time next year you'll be in college, right?
Yep.
So what are some of the things you're gonna miss about playing with your friends and playing with your friends in high school?
Things I'm gonna miss. I would say, I mean, I'm honestly more excited than things I'm gonna miss because I know I'm gonna see them again eventually. I'm gonna come back home. We're all gonna come back home. I like going out and meeting new people through baseball. That's fun to me. So when I go to college and make new friends, I'm gonna have the same bond with them that I have with everybody else. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, if I'm gonna miss anything though, I'd say how close I am with all these guys because I met Aaron through the All-Star team that we were on when were we 12, I think.
Yeah, we were like 12, 13, something like that.
That's how our dads actually met too, and that's how they ended up coaching at Riverdale together. It was a joint All-Star team that Hughesville and Upper Marlboro did. So that's how I met Aaron. So I've known him for a long time. So if anything, that's the bond that I got with them. Like we're all super close. So.
What about you, Aaron?
I'm just I don't know. I think like I'm just gonna miss, like he said, like just like the relationship I have with all these guys here. Like it's something that like I don't think I'll ever forget. Like just being here at Riverdale, like the bonds you build with the teachers and the just like the staff and your friends, your teammates. Like it's just unforgettable. And like Robbie said, I met Robbie when I was like 12 on that Little League All-Star team, and I remember when Robbie was the stubby kid, the short chubby kid who would hit home runs. So like just to see what he's grown, like to see the person he's grown into now. Like I'm proud of him for real. And I'm just excited for all my guys, and like I don't know. Like I'm gonna come back home. I say I'm ready for college, but like I swear when I get there, like I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna miss all of them. So
Yeah, because you big brother in the house. So I'm sure they're gonna miss you, but not miss you when you're gone. So definitely, it's so funny, man. I remember when you was born, and it's so funny to see how old you are now. And your dad texted me, he was like, "Yeah, man, he playing baseball." I was like, "Man." Then they sent me the video. I said, "He a big boy now," and then he was like, You haven't seen him in a while. Definitely a big boy." So,
yeah.
man, definitely proud of you guys, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the next level. Robbie must be in a bad area somewhere. Looking to see you guys do some big stuff at the next level. Um, let me see if we can get him back. Okay, there you go.
Keeps telling me a problem occurred with the.
You must be in the country somewhere out there in the sticks somewhere. Bad reception. Yeah, so Yeah, man, definitely proud of you. Keep doing your thing. And looking forward to seeing some big things for you. I know you haven't decided yet what school you're going to. So as soon as you make that announcement, I definitely want to make sure you let me know. So
Yes, sir.
um, keep fighting, man. Keep pushing.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. If there anything else you want to leave our viewers with about yourself, feel free to say it.
Um, I just want to say thank y'all, for listening, taking the time to listen to me and Rob. Um, really appreciate it. Like I said, like I didn't think I'd be in this situation 3-4 years ago. So just like to have this platform to share who I am as a person, like I really appreciate it. Um, I hope you all keep tabs on me as I go through this process, and yeah, just thanks for having me.
Oh
Because
yeah,
this
definitely,
is
man. We gonna keep an eye on you, definitely. The young stud. So, what position do you play?
I'm an outfielder.
Outfielder. What else?
Um, they're working on. They want me to pitch this year. Um, schools want me to two-way. So I'm open to that, but I'm a primary outfielder. I'm lefty.
Okay.
Um, I run a 6'5", 60 right now. My outfield velo is between 90 and 93. I think that's about it for me.
And how tall are you?
Right now, about 6'2", 6'3", 190.
Okay, that's solid. That's good. That's a good size. So, all right, young man, proud of you. Keep pushing it, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, boss.
All right.
Well, that was the first episode of the next podcast, Sports Spotlight, with Robbie Shelton and Aaron Graves over at Riverdale Baptist School in Maryland, coached by Aaron Graves Sr., known as Hercules, strongest man on the radio. Until tomorrow, thank you guys. Appreciate it.